One of my favorite places in Antigua isn't a church. It isn't a ruin. It isn't even a building. It's a bridge, a small yellow bridge crossing above a narrow street. Most visitors stop for a photograph and continue walking. And honestly, I understand why. It's beautiful. But the first time I saw it, what interested me wasn't the bridge itself. It was why it existed. The bridge connected two parts of a convent. The nuns who lived here used it to move between buildings without entering the public streets below. A private passage, a protected crossing, a hidden pathway suspended between two worlds. And the more I thought about it, the more it stayed with me. Because I think we tend to imagine transitions as events. A graduation, a wedding, a new job, a move, a decision. We think life changes when we arrive somewhere, but most of life doesn't happen at the destination. Most of life happens on the bridge, in the crossing, in the space between what was and what comes next. And what struck me walking through Antigua is how many of those spaces exist if you're paying attention. Doorways, arches, courtyards, gates, passageways, staircases, narrow corridors connecting one world to another. Ancient architects seem to understand something that modern life often forgets. Transitions matter. The movement between spaces matters. You don't simply arrive, you enter, you cross, you pass through, you prepare yourself. The architecture itself acknowledges that something is changing. And I wonder if we've lost some of that. Modern life is very efficient. We move from one task to another, one meeting to another, one identity to another, often without pausing long enough to recognize that a transition is occurring at all. But psychologically, transitions still exist, even when we don't name them. The end of a relationship, leaving a career, starting over, moving cities, becoming a parent, losing a parent, beginning a new chapter, recovering from an old one. There are moments when the old structure no longer fully fits, but the new structure hasn't fully arrived either, and those periods can feel uncomfortable, sometimes even lonely. Because we're taught to value certainty, arrival, completion, achievement. But standing beneath that bridge, I found myself thinking that maybe some of the most important parts of life happen before arrival. Maybe the crossing itself has value. Maybe uncertainty isn't always a problem to solve. Maybe it is a place to inhabit for a while. The bridge also reminded me that transitions often require protection. The nuns weren't simply moving from one building to another. The bridge created a container, a space where movement could occur without interruption. And when I look back at important transitions in my own life, I realized that the healthiest ones often had something similar. Not necessarily a bridge, but a protected space, a season, a pause, a retreat, a period where change could happen without constant pressure to explain itself. We rarely grant ourselves that now. We want immediate answers. We want clarity, immediate certainty, but life often operates differently. Sometimes we are not lost. We are crossing. Sometimes we are not stuck. We are between. Sometimes the old story has ended and the next one has not yet revealed itself. And maybe that's okay. The doorway is not the destination. The arch is not the destination. The bridge is not the destination, but without them, we never reach where we're going. Maybe the hidden architecture of transition isn't hidden at all. Maybe we've simply forgotten to notice it. And perhaps that is why places like Antigua still have something to teach us.